Hey, so what I'm here to talk about today is the meditation gap. The meditation gap is the gap between meditation being something we do and meditation being the nature of being alive. For instance, if meditation was experienced to us as the nature of being alive, we wouldn't need to practice it. It would be something that is already inherent as what we are. In the same way that shining is the inherent nature of the sun. But for some reason, it's as though because we are that, in other words, because we are the sun, we don't notice the shining of it. We don't notice the shining of ourself. And it's because this shining of ourself is so obvious that it's overlooked. And not only is it overlooked, but without anything to point towards it, we simply won't notice it. And if we simply don't notice it, then, like anything else we don't notice, even if we experience it, it's as if it's not happening. For instance, if I was to remind you that you have a right foot, if your foot wasn't already in pain, obviously, you were experiencing your right foot, but you weren't noticing it. So you weren't experiencing your right foot. If you're already the essence of what meditation is, but no one's pointing towards it, then you're not experiencing that, even though you are. You see? So the gap of meditation is filled with understanding. You could be meditating for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. That will teach you nothing about meditation. You may be abiding in it, swimming in it, but that will teach you nothing about the nature of being alive. How is this so? Simply because unless we have a model for something, we won't notice it. If we didn't have a model for our right arm, if no one pointed to, if it was never noticed or almost identified, we wouldn't notice our right arm. In fact, likewise, anything in experience. There's been studies that have shown cats, kittens were I can't remember the name of the actual experiment, but cats were born for the first, they were raised for the first 6 months, one with no horizontal lines, one with no vertical lines. And after the first 6 months, they swapped the environments of the cats into the opposite environments. And the cats were walking into tables. They couldn't see vertical lines, so they had no visual concept for a table, for anything of straight, and likewise anything that was horizontal. Likewise, if we are never pointed to meditation, if we never notice it, we won't experience it in the way that it truly is. So my suggestion is thought yoga. Thought yoga is the means we take, which is not a new thing. It's what people have been doing for as long as there has been the idea of meditation. They are explorations into the core fundamental qualities of our experience. We notice things of our experience that we didn't notice before. And eventually, through coming to this understanding and coming to this point of view where we're not changing anything, we're just simply looking to see what is true of the fundamental qualities of my already present experience. And we notice that something lies at the heart of that experience that isn't itself an experience, if by experience we mean something in objective experience that is tangible, like a thought, like a sound, like a table or an arm, that is non-objective, although that doesn't mean it's not an experience. It's just simply the experience of something non-objective. What is that experience? It's the experience of ourself. Not ourself as a person, not ourself as a mind, not ourself as anything in objective experience. Ourself as in the essential nature of what we are, which is awareness itself. Awareness alone is pure, unconditioned, and infinite. It does not exist within time or space. In fact, when we go to that place, there is no time and space. From that perspective, there is no time and space. There is just awareness. Coming to that place, which is simply the returning of our attention, is what we call meditation. For instance, you are listening to the sound of my voice. There is the appearance of you from your experience, and then there is the appearance of the sound of my voice. Now, what that looks like, and what we're taught, is that there is a you that is inside the body. There is the sound of my voice outside the body. And we're taught and conditioned that you inside the body are hearing me outside the body. Now, there's two things in that. You, object. You, object. Or you, sound. You, sound. There is the source of attention. There is that which is attended to. Meditation is simply seeing clearly that we, or I, at the source of attention, can attend to myself. We don't attend to that attention by seeing that, by ignoring the thing we attend to. We go there by recognizing the thing we attend to is actually inseparable from the source of attention itself. In the same way that the image on your screen is inseparable from the visual of me and the screen itself. There is no separation. By definition of seeing the screen, you're seeing the image on it. By definition of seeing the image on it, you're seeing the screen. Likewise, by definition of being alive, you are experiencing the essence of meditation. By experiencing the essence of meditation, you are experiencing the raw, inherent, peaceful condition that is universal and unlimited of being alive. Through this exploration and understanding, we bridge that gap of meditation from being something we do, I meditate, to something that we already are. It feels weird to say to meditate, like it's a verb, like I run, I jump, I meditate. It doesn't make sense in that language because it doesn't accurately represent what it actually is. So when we understand that and we begin to revert back to what it actually means and how it's actually experienced, we start to notice that we don't need a vehicle to go there. We don't need a means of a technique or a mantra or a breath or an image or anyone else to guide us there. It's just already presentness of what we are. The already nature of what's already happening. It is that. So from there, or where we are, to that is the gap of meditation. The gap of meditation is simply filled with understanding. It doesn't matter where we are on our journey. We could have never practiced meditation before. We could have been practicing meditation for a week, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years. The same thing applies. I hope hope you found value and interest in this. There'll be a link in the description. This link will take you to Insight Timer, where I post regularly thought yoga explorations and meditations, where you can get an understanding to what I'm referring to. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.